Tonight, our featured guest is Rotem Sivan, a New York City-based jazz guitarist whose newest album, Dream Louder, will be the subject of tonight's conversation. Welcome, Rotem.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So tell us, this Dream Louder is such an eclectic mix of music. Tell us about how your musical tastes were formed and how you became a jazz guitarist.
Wow. Okay. Big question. I guess starting, I really got into classical music and jazz. That was my first kind of two big inspirations and subject that I studied. I started by studying classical composition in Tel Aviv and then moved to New York to study jazz. So definitely these two fields played a big role in my development. And later on, of course, I found other musics, other sounds that people made, right? So I started getting into Indian music and just hip hop and blues and rock and just discovering pop, and stuff I was not aware of almost, right? So I would say I like sound and I like music and I like the idea of intention. So if something has a lot of intention, for me, intention is sort of the word love in a way. So if there is something that is made with love and intention, whether it's you call it blues or pop or heavy metal or funk or jazz or classical music, I'm into it. So I'm looking for that. So I definitely try and draw ideas from different things. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a listen to this is The Tree for Hilda. Let's have a listen. Rotem, you said that intention is so important in your music. Tell us, what is the intention behind this album, Dream Louder?
Sure. So there are two maybe underlying currents that kind of fuel the album. So first, a lot of the songs, including the song, the name of the song is "The Tree for Hilda." So a lot of the songs were written for specific people, which is a little different process than I did in other albums. So there was this basically sort of communication in a way with the person. I mean, inner communication with myself and the person, right? I didn't show them the song before it was done. But for me, I started with an idea, and I had this idea of writing something for them. And it's sort of like I wrote something, I was like, maybe that's not exactly them. And I kept adjusting it until I was happy with the result. So this song, "The Tree for Hilda," Hilda is my wife's mother. So she's an amazing person, and we just spend Christmas and holidays with them, and they're just amazing group of people. So I wanted to write her a song, and also Luke, that's my wife's dad, also incredible individual. And so for with most of the names of this album, it's a lot of family and kind of like people that I care a lot about. So there is this interaction between the song and the music and these people. This is one element is within the album. The other thing that exists there is the title, which is "Dream Louder." I really like the idea um, of articulating, if you will, our thoughts and dreams as clearly as we can for ourselves, and even pronouncing them in a louder in our head or on a piece of paper or in the world, so we can try and aim for that star, or aim for that dream. And I feel that that's an important thing to do, to be to try and do what we love and what we like. And whether it's being a lawyer, or playing football, or swimming, or playing music, whatever it is that you like, I feel like there's a lot of importance of doing things that we love. And it's of course not easy. In being a musician is not an easy quote unquote job. It's amazing, it's satisfying, but it definitely has a lot of challenges. So there's a lot of jobs out there, but I think the idea of doing things we love and dreaming louder, if you will, is important. That's how I see it.
Okay. So what a lovely tribute to your mother-in-law, which is already, I think, quite extraordinary. I don't know how many people would write beautiful, calm music dedicated to their mother-in-law. But now let's listen to Luke. Let's listen to this that you wrote to your father-in-law. So, Rotem, tell us a little bit about, so this music is all written, intended as kind of an homage, or some as a way of connecting with these people that you care about. Tell us about how you made the album, because then I don't think that your mother and father-in-law, they're playing on the album, but it's quite often that I know that composers write for musicians. So this, you didn't seem to write for the musicians. You found different musicians in order to put this music together. Tell us about the musicians you chose and why you chose them.
Sure. So the bass player is Hamish Smith, just an incredible, also human being and musician. And we just kind of started playing a little over a year ago um, in New York. And then the drummer is Miguel Russell, also incredible human being and musician. And yeah, we kind of started playing together, I guess about a year and a half ago, and it already the first session or something, it felt really good. I was like, wow, okay. And then yeah, we just started jamming and playing more, and we started playing some gigs here in New York, and then we started playing some tours around, and it was this sort of kind of process that felt very natural, that we started feeling comfortable together, and I wrote some music and we tried it together, and I was like, wow, this feels great. So I brought more and more music and we tried it, and everything felt really great with these guys. And we played a couple of runs in the US and in the West Coast and different things. Played a show in Blue Note and different things. And every time it just felt great. And I was like, okay, let's make an album, and I felt it was a nice idea to just kind of document the process of playing together and making music. And that's kind of what happened. So we just booked a day in the studio and recorded it. It was pretty easy and really fun. And then I overdubbed a few of the what you hear, some vocals and whistling there. So two buddies of mine. Um, so Sammy Stevens, the so amazing vocalist. She's also my vocal teacher actually. And so I was like, yeah, I really want to make some music with her. So I showed her the stuff and she just nailed it. And the same thing with the whistling person, that's Luke Krafka. He's actually an amazing cello player. He's not a whistler, like a professional whistler. He's just really good at it. And I remember that he is really good at it. And I was like, hey man, I kind of hit him. I was like, hey, you want to do this thing? I'm just like whistling a couple of things on my album. I was like, yeah, sure. So I stopped by, and just did it on the spot. Like literally, it's so good. And we mess around with a couple of harmonies and little things, but just really such a natural talent. It's like yeah, okay, great. So that's kind
Wow.
of how it came out. I did have the vision that I wanted, like doubling and a few of these things. So I knew what I wanted when I kind of recorded it. So I knew that I'm going to try and do that. And yeah, I was happy that I explored it.
Wow. So, I want us to take a look at this video of you performing with this group, and I just want viewers to keep in mind. I come from a classical music background, so we're used to having, the lights dimmed, nobody can talk, nobody can make any kind of expression other than, admiration or adoration for the musicians. You can't even clap at certain points. There's such a protocol. And we've got Rotem performing here, and I mean, people are all over the place, and he's so intense. I mean, it's really, I'm just, it's so impressive. I want us to take a look at this here. So, Rotem, what's going through your mind there? I mean, how do you keep this kind of concentration? I mean, it's as if, you're in some kind of, I don't know, in some kind of meditative state in the middle of Manhattan. I mean, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, so this is like a little club in Belgium actually, and I think probably Hilda, the Laura's mom, is shooting this video because she had like a phone, and I remember her like doing this. So I think she sent me this video. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of trying to connect with the people, like the musicians and the music, and explore ideas. I mean, it's not like really clear thought process. I guess it's what's nice, I think, about music. It's sort of like a place that you can be in ideally, like you can just be. It's just a place of being, and responding and communicating with other people. In this case, bass and drums, and the room, the vibe and energy, right? But it's sort of like I try not to think. You know, I practice a lot of hours a day, and I work on the craft so I can express when it happens. Um, but I think the idea is not really thinking, so I can't tell you what I was thinking, but I feel like it's just sort of like trying to connect to the moment and trying to be as aware as possible, and that's the goal. Kind of sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't always happen, but that's the ideal, I guess.
So let's now listen to a contemplative, well, probably the most contemplative track on the recording. This is Blackbird, and here it is. So I want to ask you a little bit now. This is kind of the more most serious question of the evening. So I just heard, a few days ago, a famous musician saying, music can change the world, or music is the universal language of mankind. And whenever I hear that, it sounds equal parts ridiculous and inspiring at the same time. And I say that because, as the ethnomusicologist Julio Mendivil discussed on this show, every time music brings a group of people together, it also divides them starkly from outsiders. Moreover, the phenomenon of music uniting people into separate groups also drives those groups to violence, both physical and symbolic, against nonconformists. So, what are your thoughts on your role as a musician in society, Rotem? Is Dream Louder a collection of nice toe tapping tunes? Or are you trying to give us a glimpse of something else, maybe of how good we could be, no matter how
Mm,
far away that seems?
yeah. Well, big question, but I'll try to answer it the best I can. So I feel for me, the idea of creating music and playing music is sort of the idea of connecting with people and sharing uh, love, basically. That's sort of like the undercurrent of what I want to create and what I want to share. And I think when people are dealing with listening and communicating, a lot of things can be solved between friends, family, spouses, countries, cities, right? So I think communication and the ability to listen to something, process it, and respond, process reality through this prism of information and think about what you experience and basically formulate an answer, whether it's I'm listening to some sounds when I'm playing with people and responding with sounds, or whether I'm listening to a show, which of course I go to a lot of shows, listening and I'm experiencing something, and there is a process and there is a learning process in how to listen. And I think the more I guess the better we are as listeners, we are probably better people, because this is probably, as far as I'm concerned, again, one of the hardest things to do, but also one of the most important things to do. If somebody that is interested in classical music and comes to you and say, like, asking a question, and you see he's listening, even if he has no background, no information, and he's literally just listening and trying to connect with you, it's very inspiring for you and for him. So I think that idea of us being open to discussion, open to listening, and cultivating that ability is very important for us as humans, wherever it is, country, state, it doesn't matter where you are. So for me, that is the message of love and communication. And I think that when we do things we are passionate about, again, I like music, I like guitar, and I like creating things. I think that is something that is hopefully can encourage other people to do things that they like, and not, be in the 9 to 5 job that they hate. Or again, I know a lot of people that also love that job, but I also know a lot of people that don't like it and are afraid to make a change. Just as an example, I mean, it's just when you do things you're passionate about, you're gonna be happier, and then you're gonna create a small bubble, a small environment of people that are around you that are also connected to this positive energy. So again, it starts very small by just listening. So that's, for me, the main message.
So let's have another listen to this is the Hamish. I imagine it's named after the bass player you talked
Yes.
about. Here we go. So tell us, Rotem, final thought. What do you wish all those who will have the pleasure of listening to this album, like I have, like and we today?
I would wish nothing but love. I think that's the best thing we can do and wish for each other, the way I see it. So yeah.
Let's see how we can get the album. So here it is. Tell us a little bit about this. So there's, if you sign up now and do something in a certain way, then you can get into this raffle to win a guitar, one of your guitars.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought it would be cool to for the new year do a guitar giveaway. So I decided to buy a guitar and do a giveaway. So you can win this guitar. It's actually a really cool guitar. And all you need to do is basically just kind of sign up there and then pre-save the album. There are a few things you can do more, but the basic thing is just kind of like signing up on that link and pre-saving the album, and yeah, and you're a part of exactly the raffle, and you can win the guitar. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So that's easy enough to do. So I will put this then in the chat room so that everyone can have that. There that is. So and tell us, let's see also now if we want to stay in touch with you, we can just go to your website, which is right over here. If I can get that window up. There it is. So rotemsivan.com, easy enough. So tell us about the upcoming shows, Rotem, and how people can reach out.
Yeah, so the next show, well, I guess there was a show this Thursday. I need to update it actually. Just in Brooklyn here on the January 4th. But the a show that I really would love to invite you guys is the album release party, which happens on the 19th of January at New Blue. It would be really fun if people can stop by there. And then we're also going to play a show at Zinc Bar in New York in February, and then we have a couple of tours. We're playing a tour in Mexico. I need to update some more of the dates, but we're playing basically from the 2nd to the 8th of April in Mexico, and then from the 15th to the 21st or 22nd in Europe. So kind of two tours for the album release. So, it'd be great to see you. And if you're in New York, please stop by for the January 19th.
How exciting. So, and Rotem, if anyone has any questions, they can just click on contact and reach out to you at booking@rotemsivan.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. So feel free to reach out to Rotem with your questions, your comments, and check out this awesome website and sign up for the raffle. So, and I'd also like to point out if you would like to stay in touch with Vienna Live, all you have to do is go to www.simeonmoro.com and you can see all of the upcoming shows. So, thank you so very much to Rotem Sivan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you also to Victoria and Frederick Mulligan and Agnieszka and Benoit Rivolet for their support of this show. Thank you also to Mary Schlesinger for the lovely Viennese library you can see behind me. Most of all, thanks to you, our participants who make it all worthwhile. From New London, New Hampshire, and New York City, goodbye and see you next Wednesday.
Bye.